that cometh in Jerusalem. But I will return again unto you, if the Most High will. And he sailed from Ephesus.
Yeah, that's Paul. So did Paul keep the feast? Yes, he did keep the feast. All right? That's part of the law. Now jump up to the 18th verse. We should have started at the 18th verse.
Acts chapter 18, verse 18. And Paul after this tarried there yet a good while, and then took his leave of the brethren, and sailed thence into Syria, and with him Priscilla and Aquila, having shorn his head in Cenchrea, for he had a vow.
Now, if you understand the scriptures and you go to the book of Numbers, the 6th chapter, that's the vow of the Nazarene. When you break that vow, like for example, Samson had that vow on him from the time of his birth to the time of his death. And when he broke that vow because of the woman, the Most High took that power from him, right? And then the Most High his hair grew back, and the Most High gave him his power back. So when you break that vow, for example, if a dead body come before you, die suddenly, which that happened with Samson anyway, but the Most High forgave him for that because he was killing those guys. But the vow says if a person died before you suddenly, then you have to shorn your head, or when you break that vow. Okay, so obviously, if you understand the scriptures, Paul took that vow because you could take it for a certain amount of time. You don't take it forever. And after the vow was broken, he completed the vow. He shorn his head, and then remember he said he had to go to that feast, which was the Passover. So Paul kept the law, all right? And then it said that the Most High sat down there and taught him the scriptures in the Spirit. That's in the book of Galatians. So you mean to tell me the Lord is going to forget to tell him, oh, I forgot to tell you, Paul, you don't got to keep the law anymore. That's why you guys are going to drop. That's why the Most High going to get you guys. You're going to take that H1N1 slash H5N1 slash the chip, the microchip, and you're going to condemn yourself. All right? Okay, now let's go from there to the book of, let's go to Matthew 5, verses 17 to 20.
Matthew chapter 5, verse 17. Think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill.
This is if you had a red letter Bible, if you understand what a red letter Bible is, that's anytime the Lord spoke, it's typed in red. So if you had a red letter Bible, I don't know if I have one. Let me see if I got one. Well, anyway, don't worry about it. All right, go ahead.
All right, Matthew 5:17. Think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill. For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law till all be fulfilled. Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments and shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven.
So Lahab, you are going to be called the least in the kingdom of heaven for teaching that you don't have to keep the laws. Go ahead.
But whosoever shall do and teach them.
Teach what?
The laws.
The laws. Go ahead.
The same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven.
So we're going to be called great in the kingdom of heaven. Go ahead.
For I say unto you that except your righteousness shall exceed the righteousness of the scribes and Pharisees.
Now what does the word righteousness mean? It means to keep the law, to do the right thing. And it says your righteousness have to exceed the righteousness of the scribes and the Pharisees. The scribes and the Pharisees talk about they keep the law. You better keep the law better. That's why Paul in Philippians, get that if you can. That's why Paul said in Philippians that he was a Hebrew of the Hebrews as concerning the law. He was zealous as concerning the law. He had the zeal to keep the law, man. Right? He was perfected in keeping the law, blameless in keeping the law. Let's read that.
Philippians chapter 3, verse 1. Finally, my brethren, rejoice in the Lord. To write the same thing to you, to me indeed is not grievous, but for you it is safe. Beware of dogs. Beware of evil workers. Beware of the
Lahab and the rest of you guys. that's teaching that nonsense. And you too, Nate Satan, because you tell people keep the law and you don't keep the law. Neither you, Kanai. You made that video about what's this dude, Zion Drop. I know Zion very well, man. And you said, oh, he was like a brother. Well, he wasn't a brother to me, man, because he became an enemy to Yahweh Shai. So that's on him, showing you that you ain't nothing but a goddamn emotional bag of wind, Kanai. Go ahead.
Beware of dogs.
You ain't in the truth, man. Go ahead.
Beware of evil workers. Beware of the concision. For we are the circumcision which worship the Most High in the Spirit, and rejoice in Yahweh Shai, and have no confidence in the flesh. Though I might also have confidence in the flesh. If any other man thinketh that he hath whereof he might trust in the flesh, I more. Circumcised the 8th day, of the stock of Israel.
Circumcision is important, so you better take heed to it. Go ahead.
Of the tribe of Benjamin, and Hebrew of the Hebrews, as touching the law, a Pharisee. Concerning zeal, persecuting the church.
You got guys out there saying that the Pharisees are wicked. And you got them Pharisees. A Pharisee was a sect, all right? It has nothing to do with whether they were wicked. The majority of them were wicked, but you had righteous Pharisees that believed. Paul just said he was a Pharisee. Paul was raised up under the law, under Gamaliel, a Pharisee, a teacher of the law. That's why you guys that's confusing. Most High is gonna get every last one of you, man. Go ahead.
Concerning zeal, persecuting the church. Touching the righteousness which is in the law, blame.
Touching the righteousness which is in the law, blameless. Is it better? All right, go ahead.
But what things what things were gained to me, those I counted loss for Yahweh Shai. Yea, doubtless, and I count all things but loss for the excellency of the knowledge of Yahweh Shai, my Lord, for whom I have suffered the loss of all things, and do count them but dung, that I may win Yahweh Shai, and be found in him, not having mine own righteousness, which is of the law, but that which is through the faith of Yahweh Shai, the righteousness which is of the Most High by faith, that I may know him and the power of his resurrection, and the fellowship of his suffering, being made conformable unto his death, if by any means I might attain unto the resurrection of the dead. Not as though I had already attained, either were already perfect, but I follow after, if that I may apprehend that for which also I am apprehended of Yahweh Shai. If I could say it. And the thing about it, these guys, they'll read something like that, and they'll say that, well, see, you don't have to keep the law anymore. It's all about faith. But the faith is a part of it. You have to have the faith to know that, okay, if I mess up, then I'm able to be forgiven. Right, like the scripture said, the Elder Gabar said, faith without works is dead. So you have to keep the law. But it is impossible to keep the law 100% in the situation we're in now. That's why when the Lord comes back, he's going to put the laws into our inward parts. So if the law was done away with, how can the second covenant be fulfilled for the laws to be put into our inward parts if the law was done away with?
Yeah, well, like I said, a lot of you guys are going to be, the Most High is going to deal with every last one of you, man. All right? And those words that you spew out your mouth, Lahab, you're going to eat every last one of them words, man, when that day comes, all right? And when right before you drop dead, whether you get hit with a missile, your life is going to flash before you, all right? You're going to see your little black ass running around in freaking diapers, all right? You're going to see your ass when you got your first car. You're going to see all those things, man. Then you're going to see the missiles, and then it's everything going to turn black, all right? Okay, now let's go from there to the book of Matthew, the 23rd chapter and the 23rd verse.
Matthew 23:23. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! For you pay tithes of mint and anise and cumin, and have omitted the weightier matters of the law.
Hold up, is the Lord saying the law is done away with? He said you have omitted the weightier matters of the law. Go ahead.
Judgment, mercy, and faith. These.
Now he just said that. He said faith is part of the law. Read it again. Go ahead.
Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for you pay tithes of mint and anise and cumin, and have omitted the weightier matters of the law, judgment, mercy, and faith.
So if faith part of the law, you damn right it is, man. Is there more to that? Go ahead.
These ought ought ye to have done, and not to leave the others undone.
Yeah, so you breaking the law up, you're saying